What is good, everybody? Welcome into Coach and Company. We have arrived. We have made it mercifully to Friday. But this isn't just any normal Friday in the Coach and Company world. Live on Stadium and all of its platforms around the world, available in over 100 million homes. No, this is Valentine's Day. This is where you look to your left and you look to your right about who you are in love with, who means the most to you in this crazy world of ours on February 14th every single year. And I could not be more thankful and grateful for the team that we have assembled here in the BTT studios. Do not forget, we are live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you miss any of our show, you can catch us on demand throughout the day. Also, we have two other shows there, the Coach and Bro Show, and of course, The Last Word, 11 p.m. Eastern time on Monday nights, also on Stadium. On your way in, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for us. It really helps the show grow. And also, we're working on a few tech issues. So the recap screen will be back next week. So don't even worry about that, because we want you guys to see which one of our cappers is red hot. If you want to say thank you, or you want to be a part of the show, or you want to appear on the show, you can do it via a super sticker or simply a donation to Coach and Company. So we got a lot going on, and I got the best damn company in the business. By the way, don't forget, you can find all our stuff behindtheturnbuckle.net. Our brand new website is also live, up, and running. All right, without further ado, I need to get some fire picks. It's time to beat the books. It is an embarrassment of riches. Apparently, it's sweatshirt hoodie day here at the brand. So first and foremost, he's got a brand new segment today. He hasn't even seen the Open yet. Please say hello, the man live from the dirty Big Chuck. What's good?
Morning, Coach, man, company, and it really paid off to watch live yesterday. We cleaned up a little nice little sweep yesterday, so you want to make sure you're paying attention even the days I'm not on. You might get a couple of winners.
Sweep. If I wasn't an idiot betting on Australia in the middle of the night, I would have had a much better 24 hours. But I don't need to be told. I told you so. I know, Big Chuck. By the way, I see somebody's talking about hockey in the chat on YouTube. Well, we will have more of this. I couldn't believe how popular this Nations thing is. Last night I was sitting in the bar here at the hotel. Everybody's watching the United States. So we'll have hockey picks at the bottom of the hour. But I don't even know what my man's going to do today. The NBA is now on their All-Star break. He is live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, what's good?
Morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. Listen, it is the start of NCAA baseball. Shout out to my alma mater, the Crichton Comets, the worst mascot name ever. Who wants to be a Comet? But I enjoyed my time there.
Yes, true. Cannot wait for all of our college baseball picks. We busted that ass. All ass. No, I'm kidding. Now, we have breaking news. And this man is my partner on The Last Word live on Stadium every Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Tommy, I just had this texted to me, and I want your reaction in real time. Okay. It has just been announced on ESPN's Get Up by Triple H himself that this year, being inducted next to him, immortalized in the WWE Hall of Fame, the one and only. I actually like her very much, but this is the Hall of Fame. Michelle McCool will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Your take. Good morning, Tommy.
Oh, my God. Michelle McCool is going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
It is true.
Well, I'm going to use a word for Valentine's Day. I'm smitten by it.
She actually take away. She's married to the Undertaker.
Yes,
and she was actually part of the very first Tommy Diva search.
I know
that I hosted. Remember that?
I know.
And this is a true story. When we were picking them, and I hate to put this on Front Street, but the 10 were picked before we even did the show.
Yep.
Shocking. Wrestling. Yep. Fixed, choreographed. Worked. And Vince did not want one of the women who was a Price is Right girl because she had a mole right here on the side of her face. Can't make it up.
That's Vince.
Remember that? Remember
yes,
that?
I do.
Michelle McCool was a school teacher back then. She's a sweetheart. She's amazing. and she will be now immortalized into the WWE Hall of Fame next to Triple H, who's going to get inducted for the 5th time, 6th time, something like that.
100th.
All right, the chat is popping. We are popping. Mark's at the bottom of the hour, but we got to get to our picks. So I got to save Chuck for last. So DG, big boy, start us off with a little something special, could you?
We'll start off with a little special college baseball moneyline
Let's
parlay.
go.
It's at -106. It's very simple here. I'm going with Duke on the money line versus Cincinnati. Their left-handed pitcher Kyle Johnson at home on the mound. He's going to dominate that Cincinnati Bearcats team. We like them to get the win there. And then Georgia Tech. Tate McKee is their right-handed pitcher. He's a good up-and-coming pitcher, but also their bats are dynamite. I know it's college baseball and it's not for everybody, but both these teams should be really good at home. So we get the money line parlay at -106. And then we're going to go to Northern Kentucky at -6.5 on the hardwood. It's at -110. We're fading Dud Gottlieb and his podcast and everything to do with Green Bay. His team is 2-23 on the season, and Northern Kentucky beat them by 18 back in early January. What are we doing with this line? I think Northern Kentucky beats this Green Bay team who's on a 20-game losing streak.
Back in the day, DG, our days at ESPN Radio and ESPN, and I don't know a universe that a college basketball team will allow a guy to take over their program and still do his radio show every single day. He can thank Deion Sanders for that, because Deion's doing shows and morning shows and coaching Colorado. The difference is Deion's actually winning games in Colorado. Doug's won. Did you say 2?
2-23.
It's embarrassing. We need to throw them into our What Are We Doing segment. Absolutely embarrassing. All right, DG, good start. Can't wait for the college baseball. We're going to be doing it all year. No, we're not. All right, Tommy, big boy, where you headed?
Yes, sir. I am, Coach, going what you saw on the bar last night. I'm going into the Four Nations face-off, and the big game is Saturday night, USA versus Canada. I'm taking USA money line -108, and I'm taking the USA-Canada over 6.5 goals -110. There's nothing but studs on this USA team. The two Kachuk brothers scored 2 goals each. They scored, after Finland scored, they scored like 5 unanswered goals or something like that. But Canada is no slouch either. Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, one of the best players in hockey. It's going to be the game of the week.
A, that you did that much homework on the USA-Canada game, and B, how much people are into this damn thing. I mean, I could not believe it. Again, Mark will be here bottom of the hour. I just hope, Tommy, because I'm going to ask him about your play, and I'm going to see if he agrees with it. You put yourself on Front Street.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Okay. Very good. I've got 2 plays. If we're going to cash with the coach, we're going to do it here. So it's very, very mushy and very rainy out at Torrey Pines. I'll be on the call today, 1 p.m. Eastern. Marquee Group on ESPN Plus, PGA Tour Live. All the big boys are there. And the leading score is a -4. Only a few players that are under par, because it is really hard. More of the same today. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be windy. So I'm going to lean into really good ball strikers. And Scotty Scheffler, I couldn't believe this price at DraftKings. I would encourage you to go get it right now, -140 over Rory McIlroy. Rory shot an even par yesterday, or +1. Scheffler shot a -2. He had it to -3 at one point. If you can get Scheffler anytime, anywhere, any place at -140 or better, you play it no matter what, because you never see this number with the number 1 player in the world. Then also Maverick McNeely. He's been playing great lately. Didn't play great yesterday, shot a +3. But I think at -115, it's a really good play over Keegan Bradley, who shot a +2 yesterday. But those are my 2 plays. Round 2 plays, I found both of those at DraftKings. All right, you guys know, even though the NBA is on their All-Star break, it doesn't even matter. We've got so many other sports that we can lean into. So it's time for the very first time for a little, I don't know, Footy Friday. Look at producer man just doing it again. Me and Big Chuck one-on-one. All right, Charles. So these are games that are throughout the entire weekend. You have pinpointed, and you have been on absolute fire. The floor is yours.
Footy Friday to get your weekend right. EPL Saturday, we have a little London derby with West Ham and Brentford. The first half over 1.25 first half goals. Now, that way, if there's only one goal, you only lose half your stake, which this play has cashed in 4 of their last 5. Then we have to have a little Serie Napoli and Lazio. With Lazio scoring an average of 2.1 team goals at home and Napoli 1.8 team goals away from Naples, this is a prime both teams to score spot. On the Sunday, France League One, Montpellier and Lyon, the over 3 full-time goals, with these two teams producing 3 or more total goals in 7 of their last 9 affairs. Lastly, Bundesliga, Werder Bremen in Hoffenheim, the both teams to score in over 2.5 that has come through in 5 straight encounters.
I don't know what's more entertaining. Listen to you pronounce all of these international teams, or you saying, Siri, little synergy. All right. From the chat, Robbie Hockey says, I told you. Hockey is the thing. Tomorrow's game will be a main event style fight. Robbie Hockey is a part of Weekend Wagers. And I believe, DG, today you guys have a new home. Is that correct?
That's correct, Coach. Our first show on the new brand with Sleepers Media will be live today at 3 p.m. Eastern. Still doing a lot of behind the scenes. So, producer man, I feel you. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I'm having to do, but it's going to look good. It's going to be awesome to be back on with these guys.
Wait a second. Are you telling me there's actually time and effort that goes into these shows, that this stuff doesn't just appear? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
So much work. It's more work than being the talent on the screen, in all honesty.
Wow, it's crazy that you would actually say that and respect that. It's nuts in this whole crazy world that we're in over here. You know what I mean? It's really, really crazy. But that's all right. That's all right. So, as we head into this All-Star break, coming up in about, 6 minutes, we're going to have a brand new Valentine's Day of one word. Tommy, I'm assuming that you've been married the longest. So,
Yes.
what did you do today? Because I know right in the next room, Michelle, who is your wife, who I've known for 25 years as well. What did you get her for Valentine's Day? Because I need to know if you're going to be living for next week or not living for next week.
Well, I took her to Mohegan Sun Tuesday and Wednesday, Coach. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. We went to Mohegan Sun, and she won a lot of money, and I lost a lot of money. So,
Isn't it all
today's-
one thing in your house? Isn't it one account?
yes, but I won the Super Bowl box thing the third quarter. I won $2,000. So,
Oh, so you took the $2,000 from your Super Bowl box thing,
yeah,
and you took that to Mohegan Sun.
yeah,
Interesting.
not
Interesting.
a good thing.
Yeah,
She
we didn't
made
get
over
Mohegan Sun.
$1,000.
So she won over 1,000. She probably plays the penny slots. Is that what she does?
Slots, and I'm playing roulette.
Can you guys imagine DG and Big Chuck? I guarantee he's got his hair slicked back. He's got a suit on, and he's like, doing his whole thing. Yeah, 25, 32, 13. Oh, let's go. Oh, Tommy, I see it all right now.
Yeah.
I see it all right now.
Please tell me you got at least a free buffet out of losing all that money.
There's no buffet at Mohegan Sun.
Oh, my God.
It's an
They don't have
upscale
it
establishment.
ever since COVID.
Yeah, it's an upscale.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
all right.
What a shock. We went to an Italian restaurant.
All right. Beating the Books brought to you by Deemer Box. Go to deemerbox.com. Use our code COACH10 and you will get 10% off anything site-wide. It is the most rugged Bluetooth speaker on the market today. And Zach Brown of the Zach Brown Band, he will like it very much. You'll see him coming up in just a few seconds. But still to come, we're just getting started on this Valentine's Day here at Coach and Company. Coming up in about 4 minutes, we've got a very special edition of One Word Valentine's Day Boo style. And also, we're going to go back to the future. We're talking NBA futures coming up in about 20 minutes. And then, what is the All-Star Game doing? Have you seen the changes? Oh, DG's going to enlighten us coming up in about 30 minutes. It's a glorious Friday. It is Coach and Company live right here on Stadium. It is Coach and Company live on Stadium and all of our platforms, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, DirecTV, Roku TV, available in over 100 million homes. I also encourage you to check out our content on the Stadium app and watchstadium.com. Also, you can watch us on social media, on the X, or on Millions, or you can watch, of course, on our YouTube channel. If you do that right now, Raphael and Mark Better days ahead will be in the chat. They will answer any questions for you in real time. Mark will be along for hockey plays coming up at the bottom of the hour. But there are a lot of topics. And on this Valentine's Day, it is time to talk one word. All right, gentlemen, you got to follow me on this one, and we're going to do it just like we always do. We're going to piggyback. We're going to go Big Chuck, DG, Tommy, and then myself. Gentlemen, topic number one, and it hurts my heart on this Valentine's Day because the NBA announced that they just simply couldn't come to an agreement. Are Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu married or something? What are we doing? Last year, 4 million people watched them go toe-to-toe in a three-point contest. The NBA says we just couldn't figure out how to move it forward to use the momentum of last year for this year. So, Big Chuck, one word to describe the breakup of maybe the best thing to happen to All-Star Weekend in years. Won't happen this year in Curry's hometown. Go.
Confusion. How could the NBA and WNBA not collaborate something to make this beneficial for both leagues? It's very confusing to me how they couldn't come together. I thought it was great for both leagues. So very confusing on my end.
My one word is going to be miss. I think that it was a complete miss with this because last year it was very entertaining, but they also missed out on Caitlin Clark. She was supposed to come, and then she backed out and said that she was not going to do it just for whatever reasons, and that's on her. But why they didn't have a good pivot here and going with somebody else, because it was supposed to be Caitlin Clark and Klay Thompson going up against Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. But either way, they still have missed this because they should have something going.
Coach, my Valentine's word is crushed. This is just ridiculous, right? You get 4 million views and you can't get this worked out between two professional leagues and two great players. I'm crushed over this. I want to see it, and you can't get it done. Simply crushed.
My one word is brutal. What are we doing? They acted like this is something that's been going on for 5, 6, 7 years, and they had to pivot. It's happened once, and it was awesome. And she almost beat the greatest shooter that we've ever known. And you can't do it again in his hometown, arguably the last All-Star game potentially that he's ever going to play in. What type of agreement couldn't you come to? It's not like they're making millions and millions of dollars. All the money went to their foundations. It's not even about Caitlin Clark. It's about the NBA, once again, overthinking their All-Star game and turning it into a joke. More on that coming up in about, 25 minutes from right now. Now, item number 2, we just kind of morph into a Warriors topic. And maybe the egg, gentleman, is on our face because we were very vocal about how Jimmy Butler was making a mistake. He was ghosting his former boo, the Miami Heat. And he said, I don't want to be there. I want to break up. I need to move on from this marriage. And alas, he did. The Warriors are now 3-1. Draymond Green called him a franchise changer last night after they beat the Rockets. Sorry, Tommy. Best bet, X.
Yeah.
One word now to describe Jimmy Butler, $120 million richer, Big Chuck, on the new romance, really taking off, and they're going on trips all around the world together. Go.
Fling. That's what Jimmy Butler is. He's a fling. He comes along for a few years, short term, and then he's gone. So Jimmy Butler, I don't think he'll be here long. He'll be looking for his next destination soon. So fling for me, Coach.
I'm going to go with my one word, a little controversial, but I'm going to go with quickie. I think this will be a little bit of a quickie here because I don't think that we're going to get Jimmy Butler doing what he's doing on a consistent basis. I think there's going to be a little bit of a quickie from Jimmy.
My word is flirt, Coach. That's what he does. He flirts all over the place. He sells himself. I really wanted to use another word, but I'm not going to use it. He looks where it looks better for him. He whines. He gets what he wants. He's a big old flirt.
Tough is my word. It's tough to take this as the host of this show after I put my feelings for Jimmy Butler on Front Street, and then it's all going to work out. Pat Riley, who stood pat and said, it's not going to happen. We're going to suspend him, and we're going to cost him over $3 million. It's tough to watch things work out for certain people, and then other people are just left doing it on their own. Could that even happen in this world? Interesting. Now, topic number 3. The romance between Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets has officially ended. It is Splitsville in the Big Apple, but it begs the question, like many of us who go through a divorce like this, will we use Valentine's Day to rekindle what's inside of us, to find a new partner, to find a new place to call home? Big Chuck, one word on Aaron Rodgers' future boo.
McAfee, Pat McAfee. That's where he fits best. So that's the team I see him landing with. So yeah, give me Pat McAfee, coach.
I'm going to go with my one word, Minnesota. I think that he takes the Brett Favre path where we go to Green Bay to the Jets to Minnesota. I don't know if that would work out, but I think that could be, and it would be kind of laughable, in my opinion, if we get Rodgers to go ahead and follow that same path as Favre.
My one word is he's going to be Cupid, coach. He wants to pick and choose where he wants to go. He's got enough money, right? He really doesn't have to play. I think he really does want to play. But Cupid, he wants to look around. I heard Pittsburgh could be a place. I don't know if you really want to play there. Are they a championship team? I think Minnesota could be one. But he's going to be Cupid, and he's going to look all around where he wants to go.
My one word is out, meaning Aaron Rodgers does not want to go out like this. Can you imagine a Hall of Fame career and you come to New York and you tear your Achilles, and the next year you can barely move around, and they say, listen, if you want to stay here, here are the rules. Very much like a love affair. You can't go on Pat McAfee. You can't do this. You got to show up. You can't go to Egypt. There is no more checking the boxes. And alas, Aaron Rodgers, behind closed doors, clearly said, I can't live under those house rules. I need to get out. And that is my one word. He will end up in Pittsburgh, by the way. All right, topic number 4. And this was started by a colleague of mine, Ryan Burr. And very quickly, it got boom, 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 shot down. Trevor Lawrence is the last quarterback in the 2021 class to still be with the team that drafted him. And Ryan Burr put it out there, and he said, this is 100% confirmed that the Steelers have reached out about wooing Trevor Lawrence away from Jacksonville, ending that love affair and bringing him to the Steel City. Because apparently, Russell Wilson, Mr. Fields, they aren't good enough to get the Steelers to where they want to go. But it's not true. But let's say that it is. Big Chuck, one word on perhaps the last quarterback being with his original team, leaving town. And I just happen to be sitting in Jacksonville right now. Go.
Comical. That's their franchise quarterback. Regardless of what you say about Trevor Lawrence, he's still an upgrade based off a lot of these quarterbacks in the league. I think it's all comical. Plus, I don't think he'd be a good fit for Pittsburgh anyway. Comical, coach.
I think my one word is going to be forgettable. I think that we're going to look back at Trevor Lawrence, and honestly, he just wasn't as good as people thought he was. I think he's going to be a forgettable quarterback. I don't think he's ever going to, live up to the expectations that everybody has for him. And because of that, I think we're going to just move on from this story. But he could end up in Pittsburgh. I actually do like that fit.
I'm going to say this is a joke. This is a joke. This guy never has proved himself yet. He was supposed to be the best quarterback coming out in that class of 2021, and he has not proven anything at all. If I'm Jacksonville, you want to go, you go. We'll find somebody else, because he hasn't proved anything in this league at all up to this point, guys.
My one word is yacht. As in, he won't be able to get on that $300 million yacht if he goes to Pittsburgh, boys, and he wants to. The Cons are very, very generous with their time and with their boat. It's going to be very much a little dangling of that to keep Trevor Lawrence around. But let's remember, it would have to be somewhat of a trade and all that kind of stuff, because you know how these contracts are in the NFL. But if you haven't seen that yacht, go to YouTube. That would be enough to keep me in Jacksonville. And it's, by the way, it's docked about 2 miles from where I'm sitting right now. Can't make this stuff up. That's what we do, because the company is everywhere. Real quick, as we head into kind of the dead month, DG, in the NFL, these are going to be the type of stories that really start to come out. And even in Kansas City, with the way Patrick Mahomes played, there's so much up in the air. Have you ever felt heading into an offseason that there's more upheaval and uncertainty outside of Philadelphia maybe than we've ever had?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much that's happening in Dallas on a consistent basis that's always a story within itself. But then you have the Kelsey stuff in Kansas City, and there's stuff just all around the league this season because I think people see that there is potential that if you put enough pieces together that you can win a championship. I really do think that people believe that their team is very close, and because of that, I think that people are going to try to strike while the iron's hot.
And Charles, Dak Prescott is one of those delusional guys. He came out and he's like, man, we're very, very close. Just because you have a 2 or 3 game winning streak after you're knocked out of playoff contention does not mean that you are close. How close do you think the most popular team in football, the Cowboys, truly are?
Well, Cowboys, they usually have a losing season followed up by a winning season. Then he's coming off of that injury. So this could potentially be their season to make the playoffs. I wouldn't take it any further. And with the Chefs, usually that team that loses the Super Bowl, they tend to struggle afterwards. So the likelihoods of the Ravens and so forth, the Chargers may make a little launch in the AFC also.
Did you really just take a shot at my Chiefs without me thinking that you just took a shot at my Chiefs? Did you really just do that? On Valentine's Day?
It's just how it
You're gonna
goes,
hit my
Coach.
heart like that? Man.
Direct
We
hit.
even made you a Footy Friday open. And that's what you're gonna do to me?
Which
All
was
right, gentlemen,
outstanding,
well done.
producer man.
Well done. Still to come, we're looking into the future. What is the NBA going to look like over the course of the next 2 months? Who's going to win the championship? My guys will weigh in. And also, we're talking hockey and more hockey. My man Mark from Better Days Ahead, he will be here coming up. We're halfway home, having a great time. It is Friday, and we are live only on Stadium. All right, gentlemen, I don't know if you guys saw the story. For you degenerates, we continue on here on our YouTube page. But there are 5 or 6 players from Last Chance U, the Netflix show, that are now suing producers and the network for $30 million because they said they were aggressively coerced into signing contracts back when they were focused on. DG, you live in this area. It was East Mississippi, I believe, is a college. I think they have a pretty good case. What do you make of the fact that these shows make these kids sign these deals, and they were told, if you don't, you won't practice, you won't play. Essentially, your football career is over here.
Yeah, it's very strange, but it's also sad because there's adults that are preying on these younger kids in a sense, and you're making your money, you're making a dollar off of their back. Like I still think there has to be some kind of litigation that comes into this, and there has to be some legal issues that keep these kids protected. I think that's what it all comes down to. And if this is actually goes through and they win this is a step in the right direction, just overall across all these reality shows to help protect these kids from being just honestly kids and maybe just being dumb.
You're right. Tommy, they sold merchandise. These shows were incredibly popular. They did 7 or 8 seasons at different schools, and this is the first time that we've heard anything about this.
This is just incredible, Coach. This is like one of the first times I'm hearing about this, and if they're doing this, man, more power to these kids too, man. You're using these kids to, stream up your stream and everything, and get everything, and you're being like self inflicted here with the kids just being suffering here. So I'm with DG on this, man. I hope this goes through.
I think they'll end up probably settling because Netflix, they just paid $5 billion for WWE. They just paid millions and millions for the WWE. This is a very, very popular show on Netflix, and it's one of those shows that you can watch at any time, and it's going to be popular. They don't want to lose this show. They don't want to lose this show. So they will continue with it. Gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, we're about halfway through. We've got plenty more to come. We're talking hoops. We're talking hockey. And we are back live on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach and company, we are halfway home here on this glorious Friday, Valentine's Day. You better have gotten something for your boo by now because it is 10:32 in the East, 7:30 in the West, your time is running out. All right, now I've been blown away the last couple of nights. We've been sitting at the hotel bar having dinner late night, and this hockey tournament is incredibly popular. So we had to bring back my guy this morning. It's time to go around the rink. And, of course, today, Around the Rink brought to you by Mando at shopmando.com. Look who it is, my man, Mark. Mark, how in the world have you become so popular so fast because of this in-season tournament that we're watching?
Yeah, it's insane, Coach. It's an event where it's unprecedented. We haven't had, in essence, we're talking about 92 of the best players in the NHL squaring off in 4 different dream teams. It's we haven't seen anything like this. Even in the World Cup of Hockey, they have preliminary games so you can kind of vet out what a team is doing. We don't have that here in this format. We have teams playing 3 games. Whoever scores tallies the most points based on the outcomes of those games moves on to the championship game. There is no give me games in any of this format. So it's been a crazy intense event to watch.
See, and I wish more events did that where you just said, hey, whoever scores the most, because now, like we see last night, 6-1 is a final there. We won't have teams protecting. They'll be playing aggressively all throughout. All right, I've got a question that I need to get to in 2 minutes with you, but I need to know what picks you are giving out right here, right now.
So this is a look ahead for tomorrow's schedule. We're looking at the Finland and Sweden playing, and I'm going to take the first period under 1.5. Both of these teams are so defensively disciplined and tactile that they really, like a boa constrictor, they suffocate the life right out of you and then they strike. I'm expecting that to happen here. This game is tantamount to what happens then in the late game, where I will be taking Canada's team total under 3 goals. And the reason for that is because should Sweden win outright, and they're heavily favored to beat Finland, by the way, should they win outright, all the pressure gets put on the Canadian shoulders. They have to register a point against the Americans, or they possibly could be out of the tournament championship. It's that simple. I think with that kind of pressure in a best versus best type tournament, it's just too much to overcome. And I really expect that the offense of the Canadians to tighten up. We saw what Connor Hellebuck did to the Finns last night, holding them to 1 goal, 53 minutes of just solid defense. I don't expect Canada to be able to get past him.
Mark, we're only a 60-minute show, big boy. Let's go. Now, I do have one very quick question because Tommy decided that he's smarter than you are when it comes to this tournament. And he put out USA money line minus 108 and then Canada, USA over 6.5 plus 110. 15 seconds or less. Do you like either one of those plays?
I especially like the USA on the money line. I think that they have a great chance to win, especially with that added pressure being put on Canada to perform. I'm a favor of the under in this match simply because I think both teams are going to come out and really just take it to each other. Offensively, they match up perfectly. This is going to boil down to defenses and goaltending, and the United States has the better goaltender. I don't think that Canada scores enough goals to get them over 6.
Interesting. If it was next week, we'd have a showdown because we're working on brand new showdown stuff. But not today. We're all friends. But Tommy, I can see him in his box right now. He ain't happy with you. Mark, thank you very much. I know it was last minute. We do appreciate it. We'll see you next week right here around the rink. Now, Round the Rink brought to you by Mando. Go to shopmando.com. Use our code EXPLODES. You'll get $5 off, the equivalent of 40% off your starter pack. And I'm using my starter pack right now here on the road. It's absolutely amazing. Now, it is the NBA All-Star break. It's a perfect time to start to look forward. And you may not even know what the odds are. We got you covered as we go back to the future. Producer man. Next freaking level. All right, gentlemen, we're going to do this just like we did one word, a little piggyback here, all right? We've got 3 different categories, the East, the West, and the championship, okay? By the way, Tommy, are your feelings hurt about the hockey picks?
I am a little hurt because I think both teams are really going to score a lot of goals, man. They have great players, Canada. Connor
Boy.
McDavid is the best player in hockey.
Yeah. It's shocking that Mark would say that about you. Even more shocking is that you learned how to use the chat to actually type a response to somebody in there. That was
I did
crazy. I
say
can't
that.
believe you.
I'm getting better.
You are. I'll tip of the cap. You're learning, big boy. You're learning. I like it. All right, here we go, gentlemen. Here are the odds for the Eastern Conference. The Celtics are the only team at minus odds, minus 105, to win the East. Cavs are plus 250. Knicks are plus 425. The what is that? The Bucks are plus 1200. Chuck, we're going to start with you. Who do you like to win the East this year, right here, right now?
Celtic, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I think the most value is the Knicks. But until otherwise, I'm going with the Celtics to win the East.
The Knicks definitely have the most value here because, Karl Anthony Towns is playing really well, but I'm going to go with the Celtics. They are the best team right now in the East.
I'm going to stay with my Celtics, but I think the Cavs are really close. I think the Knicks are really far. The Celtics dusted them away last Saturday. Towns wasn't even in that game. They need a lot more defense there. Celtics and Cavs, but I'm taking my Celtics.
That's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. By the way, Robbie says, Big Tommy's my muscle now. I'm a Tommy Carlucci guy. Need to be on a new shirt. We're actually working with Millions as we speak on our new merch store. Tommy will have his own shirt. I think it's going to be – you're going to look like Mark with the hair slicked back, I think, and then maybe sunglasses. Yeah, old school.
Like a big
style.
tomato can.
There you go. Robbie says y'all left the Magic off that list. You can't put 15 teams on the list, but you guys are embarrassing right now. Have you watched the Celtics? They're so inconsistent. Yes, they can be great at times, but they're not great all the time. I think this is the year that the Big Apple, that the Knicks at plus 425, yes, they are the best value, and it's really hard to see the Bucks at north of plus 1,000 with Giannis, with Lillard. That's how far they've dropped off. But it is what it is. I'm going to go Knicks plus 425. All right, let's flip it over to the Western Conference. And this one is very, very interesting. And DG, I want to start with you on this one, then go to Charles and then Tommy. Because when you look at the odds, the Thunder, the clear favorite. They're playing great, plus 105, but they got blown out last night by the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets are plus 600. The Lakers are the third betting favorite in the West at plus 700. And then the Grizzlies, DG, your Grizzlies are plus 1,100. What is going on? Who wins the West?
So OKC Thunder is the best regular season team in the West. I think Denver is really close. I don't like the Lakers at all. But give me the Grizzlies. It's the best value on the board. If they can somehow stay away from OKC there in the matchup in the finals, I think they can easily win the West.
I love OKC, but looking at that Nuggets plus 600, knowing they're a championship team with Joker, I would go with the Nuggets. But what I've heard is there's not a lot of exposure on the Grizzlies. I think the books would be rooting for the Grizzlies also at that plus 1,100, but give me the Nuggets.
Yeah, and I like the Thunder, but I'm a Nuggets guy, man. I think when the playoffs come, Joker and that team's going to play, and I think the Nuggets could represent there.
Yeah, speaking of representing, I'm begging DG to throw his fandom out the window. This is clearly the Nuggets. That's the answer right here. Plus 600. Are you kidding me right now? Did we not just see, gentlemen, what Jamal Murray did 2 nights ago? A double nickel, 55, career high. The reason, though, is what I'm targeting. He goes, it's like the playoffs. You play the same team over and over. That's motivation enough for me. And when he gets disrespected, his teammates said, oh, you can't stop this guy. He feels disrespected. He wants to make a point. It will be the Nuggets and the Thunder, the Western Conference Finals, and the Nuggets cash the ticket at plus 600, and then we'll wipe away DG's tears when the Grizzlies go home in the second round. Oh, boo. At least you'll have some more nights to work with us once the Grizzly season is over.
True. Unfortunately.
All right, finally, here are the numbers to win it all. The championship of championships. The Thunder are your betting favorites at plus 225. The Celtics plus 235. The Cavs at plus 700. And the Knicks at plus 1,000. Once again, Big Chuck, the Nuggets getting disrespected at plus 1,500. Right here on February 14th. And this could change over the next 2 months. Who wins it all?
For show purposes, Nuggets plus 1,500. That number just jumps out. How are we getting the Nuggets plus 1,500? That's insane. I'm locking that in today myself.
So if the Thunder somehow get to the actual finals, then they're going to be tried and tested. I want the Thunder. I know it's the best odds here at plus 225, but my God, give me the Thunder in this spot to win the championship if they get there.
I got to take the Celtics, right, Coach? Come on. I mean, they can repeat with Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, the whole crew. They got a bench. They play very well. And money time, Tatum shows up. The Celtics.
Did you just say money time?
Yes.
He shows up?
Yeah, last Saturday. Did you see what he did to the Knicks?
Well, you can't even look me in the eye when you said it. You went, last Saturday, did you see what he did to the Knicks? Look me in the eye, son. Look me in the eye. He can't do that in the playoffs right now. He's falling off a cliff. I'm with Big Chuck. Are you kidding me right now? You could also play a little bit on the Nuggets and on one of your two plays, DG or Tommy, if you so chose, and you would still make a little bit of money. But the Nuggets at plus 1,500, there are certain times, DG, you're my NBA guy, you got 30 seconds here, that you see a number that just doesn't make any sense. This one right here, I know we're joking around, but plus 1,500 makes no sense for basically the same team that won a title a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's the reason the Nuggets are being discounted is because of their bench. Their bench isn't good. Jamal Murray has not played this well all season. If Jamal Murray plays, he is the X factor because he can dominate the ball, a good pick and roll with the Joker, and then this team is back to where they should be. But I don't know if we see that yet.
And a thank you to Robbie Hockey. They have a boost at DraftKings. That's where we got these numbers, by the way. You can get the Nuggets currently plus 798 to win the West. So even better than the plus 600. May want to lock that in too. That's a great number on Denver. All right, we're having a good time here on the Valentine's Day version of Coaching Company. Still to come, what has the NBA done to their All-Star game? My man DG is going to break it all down for us. And are you ready for Kevin Hart for 40 minutes? I don't know. Coaching Company, live on Stadia. Some things they don't talk about is the funk that you walk around with every single day. So our brand new sponsor is Mando from shopmando.com. And I said, hey, if we're going to have it here on the show, you're going to send it to me so I can try it before we even get it on the show. So here's what we're going to do. I got my starter pack about a week ago, and I've been trying it. I have never smelled better, Vince, than I have in the last week. So here's what the starter pack looks like. You can have your stick of deodorant. You can have your your tube of deodorant, which most places don't have because you normally just put it in the normal places. Not here with Mando because the doctor who founded it, she's amazing. But she also realized you got funk all over your body. Then you get 2 free items as part of the starter pack. I decided to go with something that I think you would wear. The bourbon leather body wash or the deodorant wipes. Those are the 2 free items that I chose. And if they use the code EXPLODES, EXPLODES, you get $5 off. That's the equivalent of 40% off your Mando starter pack at shopmando.com. And Vince, one other thing, they threw in the cleansing bar. I haven't even opened it. You can smell it through the box. It's that good. Shopmando.com. Could not be more excited. Your thoughts?
Okay. Let's put the mamby-pamby aside. Gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, listening to this show, it took me 64 years to come up with a cure for the sweaty balls. You know what I'm talking about, gentlemen, and I don't wear any underwear, so it's 3 times as worse. 64 years I'm walking around with the sweaty balls, coach, and then I get these Mando wipes, bro. These Mando wipes, I go down to the grundle. I use these wipes on the grundle. 72 hours, odor-free. 72 hours, balls smelling like baby powder. 72 hours, gentlemen. Come on, man. If you want the hey nanny, you can't have a stinky grundle down there. Mando is the answer. All right, folks, let's get down to business.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Coaching Company, moving through a Valentine's Day edition. I hope all of you have a great weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend in college basketball, also in soccer. We'll have a recap of all of our picks coming up in about, 5 minutes from right now. But I need to see all my guys because apparently now everybody knows how to use the chat, which is fantastic. But DG, you're my NBA guy. And apparently Major League Baseball is the only sports organization that can figure out what an all-star game is supposed to be, which is competitive. The NFL, they have literally punted on theirs. And the NBA, in my mind, has punted on theirs. Please educate our audience with the changes that are coming up this year and what they're going to see coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, so it really starts tonight with the Rising Stars. There's a tournament of different teams. The team that wins that moves on to Sunday, which is taking part of a 4-team tournament. 2 teams play against each other. First team to 40 points wins. Well, you have 4 different teams of there's the OGs, the international stars, the up and coming superstars, and then the Rising Stars team. And so at that point, this 4-team tournament gets down to 1, which is going to be the last game, and that's going to be the best to 25. So I know it's a lot, but 40 points, I think you can get these superstars to lock it in for at least 40 points.
You seem to. I feel like you like this change.
I love it. I think it's going to be smart because like the Grizzlies scored 39 points the other day in the first quarter. Like it's really just a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half that you're having these guys who are superstars to lock in and play like they care. I think there's a lot more when it comes into it with these rosters. You know, you don't have many people on the sideline. There's not 15 people. There's 8 on a team. And so at this point, I think these teams will lock in for sure.
Shout out to UCLA and USC playing a great women's game last night. And in that same gym, in the summer, they have better games than what we've seen at the All-Star game. For some reason, these guys can show up and play and get after it. But you can't play on TV when you're kind of getting paid for it in the middle of a season. Big Tommy, we've got to go to 4 different teams on the same night. The average fan, which is what we're trying to bring in, has no clue what they're doing. Did you understand everything DG just said?
No, I'm still confused about the whole thing. Sorry, DG. I'm confused, but I'm not a smart guy either. So why
That's
are we
true.
doing this, though? What is the reason why they're doing it? To make it more interesting, to make more people watch? I'd rather see 2 all-star teams, East, West, play each other, do the crazy stuff, and then get serious in the 3rd and 4th quarter and let them just play it out. I don't know. Is there an upside to this? Is there something that's making it go into the regular season or anything?
No, that's a tournament in December. They've already done that.
Yeah,
They've already done that. Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah,
So
Charles, this is crazy.
games.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and Tommy's right. Tommy's absolutely right. And DD likes it, and people like it. Great, but what is so hard about 2 teams getting after it in the second quarter and the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter? To me, the players should be embarrassed that the league even had to go down this road.
I was a fan of the old format. If they're having a problem with it, just don't allow the older players to keep coming back and don't take it that just kind of take it for granted. Let some new blood in there. They may play a little bit harder. Yeah, it's all quite confusing. But this is the new administration. Well, they're trying the in-season tournament also. Some new things that they're trying with the NBA. I guess this is just a new wrinkle. But I was just fine with the old format.
Yeah, Tommy, apparently, I know you're the only one that lives in the New York City area. Apparently, it's going to be like the And One tour of yesteryear because guess what? We're going to get Kevin Hart as the very first on-court MC for the entire thing. Are you ready for that, Tommy?
How annoying is Kevin Hart going to be doing this, fellas? Really, he's so annoying. I'm annoyed at all these commercials he does. He got that little squeaky voice, and believe me, I've seen him in concerts. He's funny. But doing this, he's just going to be so over the top that I'm going to mute my TV on Kevin Hart.
DG, you like the format. Do you like Kevin Hart?
I'm a fan of Kevin Hart, but I need short stints. I hope this isn't him talking over the mic, over the loudspeaker. If they want to go to a break to him real quick to interview somebody, maybe cut a joke, I'm okay. But if he's over the loudspeaker, I might turn it off.
They literally are putting skits out on social media where he was calling Shaq on the set of Inside the NBA. And oh, by the way, the coaches of these 4 teams, Shaq, Charles, Kenny, and Candace Parker will be doing the Rising Stars. So there you go. There you go. Hey, Giles! Giles! What do you got over there? I'm with Shaq over here. Oh,
Wow,
hey, Kenny.
that's a great invitation.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
should be doing
Spot on.
stand-up.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe I could be his entourage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have almost arrived at the end. But a lot of you, I see the live number. It's incredible. Thank you very much on a Friday. But many of you were not here at the top of the hour. We get it. You have lives. You can't hang out for an hour. But we have you covered. It's time to lock it in. All right, I'm not so sure if you heard, but college baseball starts today. Hey, DG, start us off.
Yeah, a little college baseball money line parlay at -106. I'm taking the better teams at home. We're going Duke and Georgia Tech both on the money line. I like that play. And then we're going to go to Northern Kentucky -6.5. It's at -110. I expect them to win by 7 or more over the Doug Gottliebs in Green Bay.
The fighting Doug Gottliebs. All right, if I can pull Tommy away from fighting with Mark in the chat, maybe you can give me your picks. Go.
I'm taking USA money line -108, USA Canada over 6.5 -110. This is going to be a shootout, and that's what the NHL wants to see in this main event tomorrow night, USA Canada.
Boom and boom. I've got 2 plays, round 2 of the Genesis. Again, it's being played at Torrey Pines, Maverick McNeely, -115 over Keegan Bradley, and Scotty Scheffler, -140 over Rory McIlroy. This is a steal. Even if he doesn't win, you never get Scheffler less than -170 or -180. All right, for Footy Friday, Big Chuck, what do you got for us this weekend on the pitch?
Start out with EPL on Saturday, London Derby, West Ham and Brentford. The first half over 1.25 goals is cashed in 4 of their last 5. Next up, a little Serie Lazio Napoli. The both teams to score. I see 1-1 at worst in this one. On the Sunday, France, League One Montpellier and Lyon, the over 3 full-time goals, which they produced 3 or more goals in 7 of their last 9 matches. And lastly, Bundesliga, Werder Bremen and Hoffenheim, the both teams to score in over 2.5 that has come through in 5 straight.
Bundesliga is my favorite. I encourage you, because I don't have time right now, follow Mark Better Days Ahead on socials. He'll put out the 2 plays he had on the show today in Round the Rink. All right, we end every single show trying to help you with a certain game or a certain bet. This one's good. It's time for Raphael's Inside Info. Nobody talks about this team. They play on the West Coast, but San Jose State, yes, the Spartans are 18-2 against the spread in their last 20 games. That's right, 18-2, and they've had spreads like 10, 15, 20. It has not mattered. They cover every single time. And DG, with a team like this, it's easy to overlook them, which is what the books have done.
The San Jose State just program, their athletics have been really good. But tonight, 6.5 versus Nevada, that might be a play of mine now.
Ooh. All right, real quick, we got 30 seconds. Big Chuck, are you prepared for Valentine's Day, sir?
Always, Coach. Always. They take great pride in Valentine's Day. Glad you asked.
Way to evade the question. Tommy, in the last hour, I have gotten 2 texts from Michelle, your wife. And she says, Coach, Tommy's done nothing. He's done nothing. I'm telling you right now, it could be a long day for you. Could be a long day for you.
I'm going to get the roses right now, Coach. I have to do something. So,
oh my God, you're waiting until 10:56. What are we doing, Tommy? What are we doing?
That text that made me do it.
Yeah. Coach, that ain't nothing. That was my mix of Kevin Hart and Michelle. All right, thank you, producer man. I want everybody to have a great weekend. We love doing this. This is week number 3, and we're just getting started. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to Sawgrass out the pay window for my entire company. Damn it, do I love them all. My man DG, Big Chuck, Tommy, Mark, Hockey, producer man. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single weekday right here on Stadium. See you Monday.